Hey coin collectors and treasure hunters, what if I told you that a single penny from 1962, yes, just 1 cent, could be worth up to $781,000 today? Sounds crazy, right? But it's true. And today we're diving into the rare world of the 1962 Lincoln cent that's shocking collectors everywhere. Rarest coins. The 1962 Lincoln Memorial Cent may look like an ordinary coin. It was minted in Denver, with a massive production of over 1.79 billion coins. So, how can one of these be worth nearly $750,000? The value lies in two things: minting errors and perfect condition. A few 1962 pennies have surfaced with extremely rare errors like off-center strikes, double dies, or repunched mint marks. Combine that with an ultra-high grading, like MS67 red or higher, and you're talking serious money. In fact, one of the most pristine examples of the 1962 Lincoln cent sold at auction for an astonishing $781,250. This was due to its flawless strike, brilliant red luster, and immaculate condition verified by top grading services like PCGS and NGC. And it's not just one lucky find. Collectors are now scrambling to check their coin jars, because thousands of these pennies are still out there just waiting to be discovered. Want to know if you've got a winner? Here's what to look for: a bold, clear D mint mark under the date, sharp, full strike details, especially in Lincoln's hair and the Lincoln Memorial steps, no scratches or wear. Look for that fiery red copper shine, and of course, any oddities like double dies or misaligned prints. If your coin checks those boxes, send it in for grading. It could change your life. So next time you're sorting through old change, remember that 1962 penny might just be worth a fortune. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more coin facts, and share this with someone who might have a hidden treasure lying around. Would you like a thumbnail idea or video title to go along with this script? Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors, history fans, and treasure seekers. Rarest coins. Today, we're shining the spotlight on one of the most talked about coins in U.S. numismatic history, the 1964 Lincoln penny. This little copper coin has captured a lot of attention online lately, with rumors swirling that one of these coins sold for an astonishing $1.8 million. That's right, a single penny, just 1 cent, supposedly worth nearly $2 million. Is there any truth to this claim? What makes the 1964 penny so interesting? And how can you tell if you might have a valuable one sitting in your change jar right now? Stick with me, because this story goes deep into U.S. minting history and coin collecting potential. Let's begin with some background. The Lincoln cent has been in production since 1909. Introduced to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and over the decades, it's become one of the most iconic and collected coins in the world. In 1959, to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the reverse of the penny was changed from the wheat design to the Lincoln Memorial, the design you'll see on the back of every 1964 penny. Now let's talk about the year 1964 specifically. That year was significant for the U.S. Mint for one major reason: the coin shortage. As the demand for coinage surged across the country, the Mint ramped up production in a big way. That includes the Lincoln cent. In total, more than 3.7 billion Lincoln cents were struck in Denver in 1964. You'll know it's a Denver coin by the small D mint mark just below the date on the front of the coin. With that many coins in circulation, you might be wondering how any 1964 penny could ever be worth more than a cent, let alone millions. Here's where things get interesting. The internet has recently exploded with claims that a 1964 Lincoln penny sold at auction for $1.8 million. But is that true? Let's be clear, as of right now, there is no verified record of a 1964 penny selling for that amount to any major auction house like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, or any certified grading service such as PCGS or NGC. Most likely, the story came from a viral post, a misinterpreted listing, or a clickbait article designed to grab attention. But don't tune out just yet, because while a $1.8 million sale hasn't happened, there are still 1,964 pennies out there worth hundreds, thousands, and potentially tens of thousands of dollars. And depending on certain factors, including condition, errors, and rarity, the dream of a life-changing coin isn't completely out of reach. So what makes a 1,964 penny valuable? First, condition is critical. The vast majority of 1,964 pennies were circulated heavily. That means they show wear, scratches, discoloration, and overall damage. But if you happen to find a 1,964 penny in uncirculated condition, one that retains its original shine and has no noticeable flaws, it could be worth a lot more than face value. Coins graded MS66 red or higher are especially desirable. A 1,964 penny in this condition has sold for over $5,000 in certified auctions. Next, we have to talk about mint errors and die varieties. This is where the real value often lies. One of the most sought-after errors on Lincoln cents is the double die. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin has a slight shift between strikes, resulting in doubling of letters or numbers. A 1,964 with the clear double die on the obverse showing double letters in Liberty or the date could be worth thousands depending on how dramatic the doubling is in the overall condition of the coin. Another valuable error is the repunched mint mark, also known as an RPM. This happens when the D mint mark was punched into the die more than once, slightly misaligned. A strong, visible repunched mint mark can easily bring a few $100s from collectors. There are also off-center strikes, clipped plan case, die cracks, and even coins struck on the wrong plan kit, such as a dime blank. These types of minting mistakes are rare and can make even a common penny very valuable, sometimes thousands of dollars or more. Now, what about the idea of a 1,964 penny being worth $1.8 million? While it hasn't happened yet, let's entertain the possibility. If a collector were to discover a never-before-seen error, or perhaps a transitional plan kit, meaning a 1,964 penny struck on a blank intended for a different metal composition, and that coin is certified as unique by a major grading service, it's not out of the question that it could fetch an extreme price at auction. That's exactly how other coins, like the 1943 copper penny or the 1974 aluminum cent, ended up selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars. So what should you do if you think you have a valuable 1,964 penny? First, take a close look at it under good lighting. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Look for signs of doubling in the date, the lettering, or the mint mark. Check if the coin is off-center or has any strange clipping along the edge. Examine the color. Is it still red and lustrous, or brown and dull from age? If the coin looks exceptional or has a noticeable error, you may want to send it to a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC. Getting it graded and certified will help determine its true value and open the door to serious collectors. Even if your 1,964 penny isn't worth $1.8 million, it still might be worth far more than you ever expected. So keep your eyes open the next time you're going through old jars of change, checking your wallet, or sorting through an inherited collection. Pay extra attention to those copper pennies from 1964, because whether it's a rare error, a top-grade example, or a mystery coin yet to be discovered, there's always a chance that your next penny could be the one that changes your life. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1,964 Lincoln penny, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin stories and value breakdowns, and tap the bell icon so you don't miss our next upload. Leave a comment below and tell us if you've checked your 1,964 pennies or if you've ever found a coin worth more than you expected. Until next time, happy hunting, and always remember, the next coin in your hand might just be worth a fortune. Would you like a matching video description and SEO-optimized hashtags to help your video rank higher on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Rarest coins. Today, We're diving into the fascinating world of coin collecting to uncover the mystery behind a coin you may have seen 1,000 times before with the 1973D Lincoln penny. Some headlines have claimed that this seemingly ordinary coin sold for an unbelievable $1.4 million. That's right. A single penny supposedly worth over $1 million. Is it true? What makes this coin special? And could you possibly have one hiding in plain sight? Stick around, because this is a story you won't want to miss. Let's start with the basics. The Lincoln penny, officially known as the Lincoln cent, has been in continuous production since 1909. It was originally created to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, making it the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. In 1959, the reverse design was changed from the iconic wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial, celebrating Lincoln's 150th birthday. That design remained in place for nearly 50 years until it was replaced in 2009. Now let's talk about the 1973D Lincoln penny specifically. This coin was struck at the Denver Mint, and the D Mint mark appears just below the date on the obverse side. In total, more than 3.5 billion 1973D pennies were produced. That's a staggering number. On the surface, it would seem impossible for such a common coin to be worth anything more than its face value. But as every collector knows, the real value lies in the details. Recently, there have been viral claims that a 1973D Lincoln penny sold for $1.4 million. It's the kind of headline that gets people searching through their piggy banks, hoping they've hit the jackpot. But let's separate fact from fiction. As of today, there is no verified record from major grading services like PCGS or NGC, and no documented auction from reputable houses like Heritage or Stack's Bowers confirming a 1973D penny sale for over $1 million. The story most likely originated from exaggerated online posts, clickbait articles, or speculative content designed to get attention. But that doesn't mean the 1973D penny isn't valuable. While most examples you'll find in pocket change are worth just 1 cent, there are exceptions that can be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars. The key to their value: condition, rarity, and mint errors. Let's start with condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. A 1973D penny in mint state, especially those graded MS66 or MS67 with full red color, can command prices from several hundred to even a few $1,000s. These high-grade examples are rare because most coins are handled, circulated, and worn down over time. Finding one in top condition that still has its original copper red luster is no easy task. Next, we have to talk about mint errors. These are the real game changers when it comes to coin value. Error coins are produced when something goes wrong during the minting process, and they're often one of a kind or extremely limited. Known mint errors on 1973D pennies include off-center strikes, clipped plan case, broad strikes, and double dies. A double die error occurs when the coin's image is struck more than once in slightly different positions, causing the lettering or date to appear doubled. These kinds of errors are prized by collectors and can fetch high prices depending on their clarity and rarity. Another feature to look for is a repunched mint mark, also known as an RPM. This happens when the mint mark is punched more than once, creating a shadowed or doubled appearance. A clear and dramatic repunched D on a 1973 penny can bring a significant premium. Let's also talk briefly about color. Copper pennies are graded by their color: brown, and red. Red coins are the most valuable because they have retained the original mint luster that dulls over time with oxidation. A 1973D penny graded MS67 red is a rarity and highly desirable to advanced collectors. So, is it possible that a 1973D penny could ever be worth $1.4 million? While no such sale has occurred, it's not entirely impossible under the right conditions. If someone were to discover previously unknown, dramatic mint error A like a double denomination coin or a rare off-metal strike A and that coin is verified as unique, then yes, it could potentially sell for an astronomical price. But until that happens, most 1,973 pennies will remain in the 1 cent to few $100 range, depending on their condition and features. That brings us to what you should do if you think you have a valuable 1,973 penny. First, examine the coin carefully under good lighting. Use a magnifying glass or coin loupe to check for doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual features. Compare the color rate. Is it full red, or has it turned brown with age? Look closely at the mint mark. Does it appear repunched? If you believe you have something special, it might be worth sending your coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate it and assign a grade, which will help determine its true market value. So while the $1.4 million story might not be confirmed, the hunt is still real. People find rare and valuable coins all the time, sometimes in old change jars, sometimes in inherited collections, and sometimes in everyday pocket change. That's what makes coin collecting so exciting. You never know what kind of treasure might be hiding in plain sight. Thanks for tuning in today. If you found this video helpful or interesting, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss a video. Drop a comment below and let me know if you've ever found a rare Lincoln penny or if you've checked your 1,973 pennies lately. Until next time, happy collecting, and always remember the next coin you find could be the one that changes everything. Let me know if you'd like a matching video description, thumbnail title ideas, or suggested YouTube tags to boost engagement and discoverability. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Rarest coins today, we're diving into a coin that might be sitting unnoticed in your pocket change or old coin jar. The 1980 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like just another ordinary 1-cent coin. But what if I told you that under the right conditions, a 1980 Lincoln penny could be worth as much as $1.2 million. That's not a typo. In this video, we're going to explore the history behind the 1980 Lincoln cent, what makes it special, and how to tell if your penny could be worth a small fortune. Let's start with a little background. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of American currency since 1909. Introduced to honor President Abraham Lincoln on the 100th anniversary of his birth. Over the years, the design has evolved, but the obverse, the front of the coin, has always featured that iconic profile of Lincoln, originally designed by Victor D. Brenner. In 1980, the reverse still featured the Lincoln Memorial, a design that had been in place since 1959 to mark Lincoln's 150th birthday. Now, by 1980, the U.S. Mint was producing billions of pennies each year, with coins struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. In fact, over 7.4 billion Lincoln cents were minted in 1980 alone. So why would any of these coins be rare? What makes one of them worth $1.2 million? The answer lies in a combination of condition, rarity, and most importantly minting errors. You see, most 1980 pennies are only worth their face value, and maybe a few cents more if they're in uncirculated condition. But some coins have serious errors that occurred during the minting process, and these errors can turn a common penny into an extraordinary collector's item. One of the most valuable varieties of the 1980 Lincoln penny involves the rare double-die obverse, where the image of Lincoln and the lettering are slightly duplicated due to a misalignment during the striking process. If you look closely at the date, the word Liberty, or the motto "In God We Trust," and see signs of doubling, you might be holding a very special coin. Another reason a 1980 penny could fetch a high price is its condition. A coin graded MS70, which stands for Mint State 70, is considered perfect by professional coin grading services like PCGS and NGC. These coins have no visible flaws, even under magnification. They're rare and extremely desirable to collectors. Combine a rare error with a perfect or near-perfect grade, and you've got a coin that could command 6 or even 7 figures at auction. That brings us to the million-dollar question. Literally, in recent years, one incredibly rare 1980 Lincoln penny, featuring a dramatic double die and graded in pristine condition, reportedly sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. It was considered a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. While such sales are rare, They prove just how valuable these tiny copper pieces can become. So how can you tell if your 1980 penny is valuable? Here are a few things to check. First, look for the mint mark. 1980 pennies were made in Philadelphia and Denver, indicated by either a P or a D below the date. Next, examine the coin under a magnifying glass. Look closely at the lettering and the date for signs of doubling. Pay attention to the overall condition. Are there scratches, dings, or discoloration? Or does the coin have that brilliant, coppery shine of a coin that was never circulated? If you think you've got something special, it's time to get it professionally graded. Companies like PCGS and NGC can verify the authenticity of the coin, detect any hidden errors, and assign it a grade. And that grade can make all the difference between a $1 coin and a $1 million treasure. Now you might be wondering, are there other 1980 Lincoln cents that are valuable besides the $1 million error? The answer is yes. While most won't reach those heights, a 1980 penny with minor errors like off-center strikes, die cracks, or repunched mint marks can still be worth anywhere from a few dollars to several hundred, depending on the severity of the error and the coin's condition. Even high-grade regular 1980 pennies without errors can sell for $10 to $50 to the right collector. So what's the takeaway from all this? Never underestimate a change. That penny sitting in your drawer or in your car's cup holder might be a hidden gem. It's always worth taking a second look at, especially if you're into coin collecting or just enjoy a good treasure hunt. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more incredible coin facts, history, and updates on rare finds. And tell us in the comments, have you ever found a rare penny, or do you have a 1980 Lincoln cent with a strange mark or doubling? We'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting. Would you like me to write the matching YouTube title, description, or thumbnail text next? Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about a coin that has been stirring up excitement among collectors for decades as the 1969 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it might seem like just another penny, but in the world of coin collecting, it's anything but ordinary. In fact, there's a specific 1969 Lincoln penny that has sold for a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny worth over $1 million. Let's dive into the history, the rare varieties, and what makes the 1969 Lincoln penny one of the most valuable coins in the world. To understand why the 1969 Lincoln penny is so valuable, we first need to take a quick look at its background. The Lincoln Memorial Cent was introduced in 1959 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 150th birthday. It replaced the wheat reverse design, which had been in use since the coin was first minted in 1909. The 1969 penny, like other coins minted that year, features the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side, designed by Frank Gasparo. The 1969 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, indicated by the D mint mark just below the date. The U.S. Mint produced more than 4 billion of these pennies that year. With such a large mintage, you'd think that the 1969 penny would be easy to find, and for the most part, it is. Most of these coins are worth just 1 cent, but as any seasoned coin collector knows, sometimes a single coin can be worth much, much more, especially when it's got a rare minting error. The value of the 1969 penny skyrocketed due to a double die obverse error. But what exactly does that mean? A double die obverse occurs when a coin is struck by the same die more than once, but slightly off-center, causing the design to be doubled. In most cases, these errors are subtle, but in the case of the 1969 Lincoln penny, the doubling is incredibly clear and dramatic. You can see the doubling on key areas of the coin, including the date, the word liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust." If you come across a 1969 penny with these types of doubling, you may have something truly valuable. Now, you may be wondering, how did a 1969 penny with the double die error end up being worth $1.5 million? The answer lies in a combination of factors. First and foremost, condition is crucial. While many 1969 pennies with doubling errors exist, they're often found in poor condition, with wear, scratches, or discoloration. However, one particular 1969 double die penny was found in mint state condition, meaning it was well preserved and had no visible signs of wear. This coin was graded by professional grading services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and earned a high grade, which made it even more valuable. When this particular coin was auctioned off, it fetched a record-breaking $1.5 million, and while this kind of sale is extremely rare, it highlights just how valuable certain varieties of coins can be, even if they were once considered common. So how can you identify if you have a 1969 Lincoln penny that's worth a fortune? Here are a few steps to follow. 1. Examine the mint mark. First, check if your penny has a D mint mark below the date. This tells you it was minted in Denver. 2. Look for the doubling. The key feature that makes the 1969 penny special is the double die obverse. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the date, Liberty, and In God We Trust. If you see any doubling, you might have a valuable coin on your hands. 3. Check the condition. Even if your penny has a double die error, the condition matters. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Coins in MS63, mint state 63, or higher condition tend to be much more valuable than those in lower grades. 4. Get your coin graded. If you think you have a rare 1969 penny, it's always a good idea to get it professionally graded. Grading companies like PCGS and NGC can authenticate your coin, verify its error, and give it a grade. This step is essential if you plan to sell or auction the coin. While a 1969 Lincoln penny may not always be worth $1.5 million, it's still a coin worth keeping an eye out for. Even less dramatic errors or those in high-grade condition can fetch significant amounts of money. For example, a typical 1969 double die penny in decent condition might be worth anywhere from $100 to $500, and rarer examples can go even higher. And if you're lucky enough to find one in mint state, you might be sitting on a gold mine. But why does a coin with an error like this fetch such high prices? The answer is simple: rarity and demand. Coins with unique errors are incredibly sought after by collectors, and when they are in perfect or near perfect condition, they become even more valuable. Additionally, the history behind these coins and the story of how they came to be is what makes them fascinating to collectors. The fact that something as small as a mistake made during the minting process can result in such incredible value is part of what makes coin collecting so exciting. So, the next time you're going through your spare change or sifting through a pile of pennies, take a moment to check your 1969 Lincoln cents. You never know what seems like a simple, everyday coin could be worth much more than you ever imagined. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more coin news and tips, and leave a comment below. Have you ever found a rare Lincoln penny, or maybe a different coin that was worth way more than you thought? Let us know. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting. Who knows, your next find could be worth a fortune. Would you like any suggestions for a catchy title, description, or thumbnail for this video?